Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's what's it? It's Happy to Hump Day. It's Wednesday. We're moving through the week. The noise is still Mr. Biden in the country, but yesterday they explained to all the Democrats in Congress and so forth that they need to stop what they're saying. And those that asked him to resign have been lectured about stop doing that, and they have. So, like I said, I think it was yesterday's title, or was it the day before's title? Day before's title was something like "Markets Watch Biden" or "Markets are Biden's markets," or in other words, the markets are watching what the Democrats are doing. They're trying to figure out what reality is. The question is, do you believe what your eyes showed you and it's recorded and you can see it? Or do you pretend that it didn't actually happen and leave it at that? And that's what they're shooting for at this point. They're trying to pretend that it didn't happen or, something of that nature. And so that's where we are in the country right now. It's not pretty. It seems like a losing battle to me, but that's who they are. Now, yesterday was Powell. Won't cut rates until inflation moves sustainably towards 2%. Well, what's that mean? It's at 4.1 or 4.2 or something like that now. Does it mean that if it goes to 3.9, he's going to start cutting rates? I don't know what that means. The Fed chair, the logic would be is if he's going to cut something because he's willing to admit how slow the economy really is, would do it in November and so forth and not make it look political. So that's where we're at the moment. So the big question is in September when it comes rolling around, we're going to see, what they're doing. I would assume that, if they can tell people who there's Democrat leadership that actually got up on TV for the last couple of weeks and said they need to get rid of Joe Biden. Or walked out of the conference yesterday of that meeting and said, no, he can stay. So if they can sway these political hacks, I guess you could call them, then obviously they can easily sway the chairman of the Federal Reserve who keeps on thinking that like inflation is transitory and, has a horrible track record of success. So I mean, you would figure that the political hack is probably smarter than the Fed chair at this point, and that's where we stand. So what do we see on the screen this morning? We see it again. You see that the dollar index kind of bouncing uppish. It's the only way to really describe it, uppish like that, uppish. See it right there. It's pushing it up, but our algorithm is minus right there, and you can see the weekly is minus. So it's kind of like I saw a headline this morning that made total sense. It was something like dollar treading water, going sideways, and that makes a lot of sense to me. That's what it seems like to me. I keep on saying, dollar index trading in 104, 105 is overvalued, and 97, 98, something like that's undervalued. And that's pretty much where we're at. We're just a little overvalued. A strong dollar probably reflects more of the inability of the world to practice healthy economics. I guess that's the only way to describe it. So that's where we kind of stand looking at the dollar index. And then obviously, when we go over and we check out, say, the euros, well, take a look at the euro this morning. Just seems to be it's giving us that same example right there. Just literally a flat line in a sense. It's going nowhere. It's been in a daily buy. Now it's fighting to get into the weekly buy. You would assume that's a signal that the dollar index should be sliding down, but nothing really at the moment. Just seems to be just cruising slow and steady. No great excitement there. What else we got to say about the dollar index? Just that it's trying to lift its head back up into that buy. It's a higher low. We talk about that a lot here. Oh, you know what I don't have? I don't have the chat line. Where is that at? Let me just turn that back on. I just realized that I didn't have the chat line up. Went to look to see if anybody asked a question. I went, wait a minute. There's Robin. Hey, Robin, how you doing? Forgot to turn the chat line on. There it is. So that's the action we see, and the action will be, and that's the name of the game. A sideways dollar, sideways market, except for the stock market. Stock market keeps on going up in value because this way they can claim things are really, really good. You open up your statement and you see like, oh, okay, it's up a little bit higher this month than the last month. And I want to use the word I love. I'm truly entertained by it. Where the talking heads, even on some of the channels I trust, do not and refuse to really say anything about quantitative easing, like as if it's just normal. And it's like, we've been doing it for 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 5,000 years, when in fact it's only been going on since basically 2009, at the end of 2008 as Mr. Obama was elected. It doesn't seem to go away. The Fed is out there doing whatever they want to do financially, buy stocks, buy bonds, buy futures, buy whatever. Lend money to every central bank that needs it. We are the world's reserve currency, and we are the world reserve's banker. So we see that at the end of the year a lot of times. Notice this year, around Christmas time, New Year's, we weren't able to really point out any lending. They stopped reporting that even now. They don't even like to report who they lend to. We did see when there was a problem in Switzerland with the brokerage house there, that the Fed did lend $4 or $5 billion to the National Bank of Switzerland so they could bail it out, and then they sold it off. But overall, they even hide what they're doing and when they're doing it anymore. It seems to be kind of falling slowly to the wayside, where don't look behind that curtain, just listen to the words, that type of thing. It's like, wow. And so when they say, oh my goodness, it's like the 39th time that the stock market closed at an all-time high, it's like, yes, and the Fed balance sheet is not $300 billion, it's $9 trillion. Do you think there's a relationship between the two? You see, I went from like $300 billion to $9 trillion. $300 billion to $9 trillion. I'll do it one more time. 300 billion, B-I-L-L, versus 9 T-R-I-L-L, trill. Do you think it has a relationship to why the stock market is at the all-time high for the 39th time? I never hear them say a word about it. They seem quiet. It's like they like to pretend. It's like I want to laugh. It's so absurd. Obviously, that is exactly what's going on. The Federal Reserve is propping up the U.S. market and the global market, and hey, no worries. What's the difference of what's an extra $8.7 trillion? Buckus. All I can do is laugh. I don't know how else to interpret that. We know that they're propping up the markets. We know they're doing it for political reasons. But just like the mainstream media refused to talk about Mr. Biden until he self-exploded in a debate and looked totally lost and confused, he's really okay to read a teleprompter. I give him a C+ reading a teleprompter. But when it comes to actually discussing something off the top of his head in front of people with no cards and no teleprompters, well then it's You give them like a failing grade of a 30 or a 20, something like that. I mean, it's so horrible. So, this is our financial markets. Welcome to this world. It's what it is. Let's go back to the currencies. Well, we didn't leave them, actually. We just left the euro up there. So let's take a look at the cable. See what the cable looks like this morning. And there's the cable. As you can see, the cable, just kind of lifting slow and steadily. It went into the weekly buy last week, whereas the euro is going into the buy this week. And it's, trying to hold up. And, I want to say I guess it's everybody is Tony Blair now. So England, except for Nigel Farage, his party is definitely the Conservatives. The Tories, I don't know what the Tories are at this point. I would call them the Tony Blair Tories. And now we have the Tony Blair Labour. So the stock, but the currency is moving up. Let's take a look at the FTSE too. Let's see what the FTSE looks like. I think that's it right there, isn't it? Yeah, there's the FTSE. Let's put it up on the screen. There's the FTSE. It's been kind of gliding down throughout this whole event. Stock market is trying to firm up more. Nothing major. I mean, they're not obviously as exciting looking as the CAC 40 right there. Well, CAC 40 looks a lot like the FTSE. They pop it up a little bit, but then they realize that they're going nowhere. And so how come they're not at all-time highs? I guess the Fed won't lend them the money they need to be at the all-time highs. I find that all fascinating. Fascinating. And money slowly drifts into the FTSE. They have, I think their bond yield is in the 4s and 5s. So, it's not bad. You can buy a gilt for 4.5%, 5%, I believe. Let's take a look and see. I mean, currencies move because of the interest rates. And there it is. Bond rates right there. Let's put that up on the screen for you. UK bonds right there. Yeah, look at that. The 3-month is trading at 5.2. The 6-month is at 5.14. And the rest are cruising along in the 4s. All the way up to 4 years. Not bad. And then you can go back out. It slides down into the 3.9s or 4s. And then it moves back up again. And you go to a 5-year bond, it's 4. And you want a 30-year bond, it's 4.6. And a 20-year is 4.56. And you can see it on here, all in the 4s. So there's good reasons to hold on to the cable. You can park your money there and do whatever you do as a trader, deciding on what kind of trading you want to do. And so that's the action we're seeing there. Great. How do you like the new platform, Robin? You like that? Tomorrow I'll go down there and we should be able to get it into the position of starting to be able to use it for the public. I think tomorrow we'll have the futures contracts be able to. Right now we're just having the stocks. So. Great. All right. From there we'll go over to the. Oh, there we are. Need to learn more. Yep, I agree. There's the Swiss. And if you want to know something about it, we can look at it here too at the same time. Let's see. When we go in and look at stocks, we can use that and look at the stocks and get a better feel for it all. All right, so there it is right there. There's the Swiss. Swiss is moving back into the buy. The weekly's trying to be in the buy. So obviously there's a little upside pressure still. I thought they might go challenge this low here, you know. It does look like a reverse head and shoulders. So I'm thinking that, you know, maybe that's not a good sign for the Swiss. That means that it's going to lose against the dollar for a little while here. Okay, from there to the Swiss, we go over to the yen. Yenski. Right there. Oopsie daisy. Moving back up again. Just failed at it yesterday, I think, by the hair of its chinny chin, right? No, wait a minute. Might have gotten into a buy. It's a slow buy. Yep. So we're going to put a little line in there like that. So it did go into the buy yesterday. And let's see what's going on here. Let's see. What's that? Nikkei. So, you know, it's going back up to, you know, 40-year highs type of thing. Let's take a look and see. Well, you know what would be interesting? Oh, darn. I wish I didn't done that. Let's see. Let's put it up on the screen here. But I want to look at the bonds over there. Because I don't know if they're still having any minus bonds. They were last to hold out until just recently that they had minus bonds still. You had to pay to own one of them. Let's see, where's it at? Trading, bonds, Japan. Yep, no more minus bonds. 3-month bond now is it's 17th of a. Let's just show you that right there. Their 30-year bond is yielding 2.23. See that down there at the bottom, right there. So, as you can see them all. That's probably one of the problems why people are not buying yen, because of the cost. Let's get back over to there. Okay, so that's that. Then we can go shoot over to the Nikkei and see how the Nikkei is acting with that. Right there. Woo, doggy, they're taking off on that. Look at that. Bye. For 4 full weeks now, it's been a bye. And you can see it's been going up and away in that most beautiful balloon. You can see the dailies have been lots of buys also. All that. Buy. Lots of green. And the currency itself is feeling the inflation. Seeing the inflation. And remember, again, traders, interest rates and gross domestic product and inflation are all major factors in controlling the value of a currency. What makes one currency go up versus another one goes down is a lot. That's a lot to do right there. All right, and so then you can see interest rates are, you know, barely over the 2% area. So then why would anybody want to really invest there more than just probably in the companies? But then you see the stock market's at all-time highs. So, well, you know, it's like it is an inflation tool. There's no doubt about it, because companies can raise their prices. So that it's like a tip, you know, a treasury inflation product where they give you interest over the inflation rate. So in other words, if inflation's at 5%, they're giving you like, you know, 7 or 8%. Whereas if you buy a 5% fixed bond and inflation's at 5% and you're getting 5%, it's like, ouch. And I would imagine the arbitrageurs keep it pretty much in line. So you're looking at, you know, when you're looking at, let's put the U.S. bond on there for a second. I just want to see it. There we are. So when you're looking at a 30-year bond yielding 4.47, but in the very, very short term, the 3-month and the 1 month is yielding 5.3, like almost 3/4 of a percentage point more. It tells you that that's the inflation factor that makes you comfortable with it. So the tips more than likely are only yielding say a 30-year. I don't know if they do 30-year tips. I forget what they do. I think they do like 10-year tips and 5-year tips and stuff like that. So they're probably yielding in the sevens. So that's pretty good. 6.5, 7, something like that. From there, we dance our little way over to the Great Experiment right there. And it's sitting on top of the box for a second day. Please stay there. Please don't drive the poor people in Turkey any crazier than they've already been driven. When you have a currency that's gone from 1 to 35. Ow. Ow, that's like hitting each finger you have with a hammer every day. Ow. And we saw, I was mentioning it to you yesterday, there was somebody harassing President Erdogan for his economic policies and how poorly they function. And it's like, don't look at that. Stay away from that product at the moment. He was really ragging on him. I forget, it was like maybe when it was one of the mayors, somebody competing with him, I guess. Fascinating. It's all fascinating. I love it. Cracks me up every darn time. So that's where we stand. Weeks and weeks in a buy right there. A whole 5 days in a buy right there. And we're flirting with the all-time. That's an all-time high right there. So we're inching our way up into the 36s again. It's at 35.63. And the great experiment goes on. President Erdogan, since he's been prime minister and now president, has been doing this great financial experiment. And hi-ho, here we go. All right. We'll go over to the metals complex. Take a look at the South African Rand. Oh, yeah. See, it's moving down, which means gold is moving up. Up, and away. There's the gold. I think it went into the sell. Did it go into the sell yesterday? I thought it did. Let's double check it. No. But it had a red line for yesterday, and it still has a red line today. It's trying to get into the sell. Trying. Look at it. It's lifting up, and the algorithm's trying to roll over. We're in a weekly buy. And again, South African Rand is looking fine as kind. Moving down. Would be nice if it could break this triangle thing and get down. Unfortunately, because of the politics, it's really put a haircut on this. In other words, there's a premium on this product because of the politics. But things are looking better in South Africa now that the ANC is in a coalition government, and it's not with Zuma, thank goodness, and the communists. It's in with the Zulus and the DA, which is Democratic Alliance, and they're anti-illegal immigration, so that helps out, because I know every day I remind people here that apartheid was not racism, it was anti-immigration, and that's what it was all about. And they were pro-illegal immigration, and that's what wiped out de Klerk's government in the end, because he was giving the illegal aliens half a vote. So when they gave them a full vote, say goodbye to a healthy economy. And that's where it's been ever since. It's been sinking into the rocks. But now, for the first time since Nelson Mandela, we see a more responsible government. So that's a good thing. All right. Unfortunately, it is what it is. People just like in America, we get lied to all the time. So why wouldn't they lie about, the Zulu Nation had full voting rights. So how could it be racist if they had full voting rights? What was the difference between other Africans and those Africans? They were legally in that country. It was their country. what was going on with those illegal ones. They were given a vote, even in the fact that they were illegal immigrants. So, you go figure. All I know is that apartheid definitely was not a racist thing. It was an immigration thing. And the proof is everywhere. And to this day, even all those decades later, the South African government of those days now has teamed up with the Zulus like they were before. And the ANC has started to fall apart because illegal immigration really hurts a country. All right. And that's the magic of it all. So we can only follow the trend of the South African rand. We really believe with gold up in the $2,400 area or $350, whatever you want to call it. And let's just show it to you again. Right there. And you can see it's moving up. You can see that it's got a red dot. It's trying to break down a little bit there, but it's still in that weekly buy for 4 weeks. And the product is, with that at the $2,400 area, the South African rand should be trading in the 12s, 11 and a half, something like that. That's how historic, from a historic price range. Now that they've calmed things down politically, you can see it's moved down from the 19 and a half to 19 area, heading for that 18 area. Still, there's that haircut still going on. We call that on the trading floor haircut. So it's a premium. The premium is still there. In other words, they have not, bid into the new government yet. They probably want to see how it governs for a while, and then if it governs well, you're going to see this, the South African rand currency probably move against the dollar and move down into the 16s and the 15s. I think it belongs in the 12s right now, but that's me. That's just me, just trying to do my own price discovery. So, from there, let's jump over to some of the other metals. See what they're all up to. What are they all up about? There's a ding, like la ding ding ding. Mm-hmm. And so, that is, what is that? That's gold. So let's get, which one we got? Let's put the silver up there. There's silver. Silver doing the same thing, except for it's still in the buy and acting strong. 3 weeks in a weekly buy, not letting go. Okay, there it is. All right, there we are. And as you can see right there, it's making a little dip down today. We got a little red line in there, but look at the prices still moving up, and so is the weekly. So they'll probably straighten this out, and it'll start to smooth out. We're still today's Wednesday. We still have 2 full days and half a day today, if nothing else. Next. There is copper. Copper's trying to lift its head up. Also, the weekly's trying to lift up right there. There's the copper trying to perk its head up. A couple days in the sell. And then platinum. Right there. Platinum pushed itself into the sell here after that nice bang down. But it's doing the same exact thing as everybody else when it comes to the weekly. Lifting up. So longer term money is saying, I think I want to be long this, not short it. All right, let's take a sip of water. Where did I put my water? Oh, there it is. Okay. So there's the metals complex. Any questions out there about anything about the metals or stocks? Or I see Giannis is not in here today looking for his NVDA, but I think we might just go look at it anyway. So there is, where's the NVDA? Right there. And we're going to put it up on our new beta. And there it is right there. And let's see, let me get my glasses on. You see in a daily buy for all this moving up. Where's the weekly? Where'd the weekly go? And there's the weekly. That's last week's number. Where is this week's number? That's what we're going to straighten out tomorrow, is why we're not seeing where it's at right now. Like we do right here. At least it's updated at the end of the week. That I can't complain about. But I want it to anticipate just like it does on here. And then let's find the NVDA. Ooh, look at that. The used car market is exploding this morning. Is that right? Yeah, that's... Let's see. Let's go check out NVDA at 133.96 as we speak. They're buying it again. You see here, it's long weekly buy compared to the new beta. That's also going to get extended out about 3 months, so 4 months, something like that. And so the blue line's acting more like the fast, not the slow. Huh. Well, we'll get that straightened out too. Ooh. There we are. So there's the NVDA. And let's go take a look at the AMD. Looking firm again today. Closed in the weekly buy right there. It's lifted up about $5-6, something like that, $7. No questions, eh? So. Nothing up my sleeve. I don't see anything going on here. All right, let's go check out the energy sector. See what the energy guys are doing. And gals. Energies. There's crude oil right there. It's been moving down, trying to be a little firm. It's a little plus today by, what's that, 3 cents, 4 cents, something like that. And it's only up a couple cents. And we keep on edging our way through the manifold and trying to get into that, right there. Trying to get into that sell down in that area there. We'll see. Looks pretty firm still. Let's check it out on the, let's see, minimize that and go like that. Let's go see what it looks like on the, there it is. Over on the beta, this way we'll be able to see the Brent. See, it's moving down. It's in the sell now for 4 days. Just like our other platform. And at the same time, you can see it's been climbing consistently, and now it's starting to break down. And that is on Tuesday. Then we go over to Brent right there. Brent's got that same look to it. Not much of a difference between West Texas and Brent. They seem to march along pretty well. Then we'll go take a look at one of the refined products of them all, the heating oil. Let's go over to here. There's that. That's the same way. That's the refined product that that's a refined product that feeds trucks and home heating systems, airplanes. Same fuel basically. So. If only Diesel would have lived to see the success of his invention. Unfortunately, Diesel, the creator of diesel engine, died and never saw a penny from the success of the diesel engine. And that's the way life went. So you can see here, heating oil is doing that. It's moving down, which is a good thing, In other words, it's nicer to pay less than more, that's for sure, when you're trying to heat your home and you're freezing. At the same time, putting in your vehicles and your airplanes and so forth, that's also a nice thing. Then we go over to natural gas. Right there. Every time it tries to perk up, it seems to roll over in that nice long sell. We would be very happy to see it break the $2 area. And you can see right here and right there, deep down on that weekly. And it doesn't seem to be stopping there either. Then we go over to, let's take a look at that company down in Spain. Oof. It's in a weekly sell, but the daily keeps on trying to pop up. Oof. See, and you can see here, look at the weekly. It's leaped up dramatically. And you see the daily is in a sell for a couple of days, but it's trying to turn up on us. So that's a loser for us at the moment. Gave us the warning that we're jumping into a buy, and then going back on Monday and Tuesday, and now here. It's not rolling over. And that weekly is, look at that, it's right on the edge of going plus. It's a big leap up. That's an energy company down in Spain. It gives us a general idea of what the cost of natural gas in particular is in Europe. Europa. All right, that pretty much cleans us off of the metals and the energies. And now we'll just go look at some of the stock indices and anything else you would like to look at. Anything you would like to look at. Let's go check it out. We saw the Nikkei. Nikkei was at all-time highs. So let's take a look at the Kospi. Kospi's doing basically the same thing. It's up at its highs. And it's in a weekly buy for a total of 6 weeks now. Then we go to Taiwan right there. Look at that. Just looking at the algorithm, look at that, the strength in it. I'm sure it's not leaping up through the roof, but it's definitely firm, and it's been in a buy for, what's that, 10 days now in a buy, and almost over 12 weeks in a buy. For some reason, obviously, I mention it every day. Oh, we saw something about China too. I was going to say China is, on the ropes, going all kind. Now there's clawback talking about clawing back money. We'll do this. We're going to go to the Shanghai. Let's take a look at the Shanghai. Right there, there's the Shanghai. Off a little bit today, but still strong from yesterday's daily buy. But it's 12 weeks in a weekly sell. And it's down at the lows, making new lows of late. The last 12 months of lows, that type of thing. Then, let's go find that article. Let's see, where's that at? Let's see if we can find it. Let me just put intraday. I don't want to clutter your minds up with that. So we're just going to throw in intraday stock market. Right there. Showing you at all-time highs. Because, as I said, the Federal Reserve is doing its political job. Making everybody believe it's A-okay. Let's find that article. I'm going to find it, and then we'll put it up on the screen. Yeah, we saw an interesting article yesterday on China and the world economy in general. It was a real surprise. Is that it? Let's see, is that it? Yeah, they're talking about clawing back money from people in China. It's really weird. We'll find it in a second here. It was an interesting article. I should have parked it to the side. Yeah, they're clawing back money. I don't like to talk about China unless I can show it to you. Let's see. I'll have to hunt this down. That's not it there. All right. Not that. Not that. Let's see if this is it. Yeah, they're clawing back money from. I guess Qi is what the article said was Qi is created like a. I don't know, what do you call it? I guess like he's saying, basically people who got bonuses have to give them back. They're cutting back their salaries. This is all upper management, no less. And then they want money back from years past, no less, which is really weird. Let's see if this is it. Gas lighting. Geez, I saved it yesterday, and I was saying to somebody, I don't like to talk about. I'm always talking about China, but only when I see news that pertains to it. Let's see, where's it at? Short view, zero corporate taxes. Russia nuclear talks, visualizing the Gulf, Paris, Japanese, Philippines military logistics. Let's see. We'll find it in a second here. Not there. And Chi. Where are you at, Chi? Huh. All right. Well, we'll give it up. I'll hunt it down, and tomorrow we'll go through it, because that is really what it comes down to at this point. And just the idea that they're clawing back money like that, it was a real surprise. So we'll hunt it down and find it. No reason to drive you crazy at the moment. GDP. Debunking narratives. Huh. I don't see it anymore. All right. So, where are we at here? We are looking at the U.S. stock market at all-time highs, ticking away. Tick, 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 tick. Let's get back over to the Philippines. Philippines have been lifting up. There was a real concern because the Chinese are demanding to take control of islands that are right off the coast of Manila and 700 miles away from China, but they're demanding to take control of it, and there's like a little push and shove going on over there. And that seems to be putting a little pressure on the stock market, but it seems to have stopped and is starting to lift. So you can see, you look at the Kospi, you look at Taiwan, the Taipei index in Taiwan, you look at Japan, you see now you see Philippines starting to lift up, but you see also at the same time Shanghai rolling over. Same thing with the Hang Seng. Let's show you Hang Seng. It'll jump out sooner or later. Where's the Hang Seng? HSI. HSI. There's the Singapore Straits Times. Let's look at that. Seems like the new replacement. Them taking off again, making like 4-month highs, that type of thing, 5-month highs. And then here's the Hang Seng right there. Hang Seng down at the low end of its ebb, just like the Shanghai is doing. Both are, things are not, economically are really tight. Unfortunately, the mother country, United States of China, is, they are like a colony of ours. And when our economy is slow and going nowhere, China feels the pain. It's like the old saying about just the world in general. When America sneezes, the world, when America goes achoo and sneezes, the world catches a cold. And so you're seeing that same thing right now in China. As our economy is sloppy and sideways, we see, China, having massive problems financially. The real estate market is collapsing, and, their industrials, I want to see if I can find that article. Let's see. We have that there. Where can I look at it? Let me see if I can look at it here. Let's see. Right there, maybe? China and Chi. Okay, there it is. Let's see. Clawback bonuses and wages. There it is. I found the article. Okay. A $400,000 pay cap. Let's see how I get this over to you. Here we go. So let's pop that in there. China. Finance. Elite. Let's see if it comes up now. Elite face for there it is right there. This is Bloomberg. And there it is right there. China Finance Elite faces $400,000 pay cap bonus clawbacks. Some employees are also pressured to return excess pay. Moves come as Beijing tightens grip on financial industry. And so, they're talking about going back for years, not just like last 6 months. So when you start doing that to your economy, that tells you how much in trouble they are. We know how much trouble they are. They can't find, companies that have $11 billion and $20 billion in assets can't find $20 million to pay, bond yields, that type of thing. You have $30 billion worth of real estate in assets, and when they go and try to pay a $50 million, just pennies, that's a penny on the dollar, really. $50 million. There's 1,000 million in a billion. 1,000 million in a billion. Okay? And they can't find 50 million. So what is that? I mean, it's like, 100 million would be 10% of a billion. Okay? And, when you're talking about they can't find 2 or 3 percentage points of cash. Can't they rent something? It just tells you. Now, Xi is going after people's salaries, putting a cap on them, and at the same time, clawing back previous pay years back. So they'll probably deduct it from the $400,000. And so, in other words, you'll be capped at $400,000, but they'll be taking like $150,000 back from you every year. So you really won't be making your $400,000. You'll be making even less. And they're going after the whole upper class of the Chinese society itself. There's just an incredible clawback thing. Imagine if you were paid $10 or $15 million and you got to pay it back, and they say you got to pay it back. I mean, if you're $400,000, it'll take you 10 years is $4 million. You'll never pay it back. You might be living on $50,000 a year for the rest of your life, and they'll be claiming that they're taking, clawing it back, because there's no court system that would stop them from clawing it back. So. All right, that was the one I wanted to talk about there, because it does says a lot, about the economy in the country. Let's see what the Nifty 50 is up to today. Where are you? Right there. There's the Nifty 50, cruising along at. Well, they sold it off a little bit today. It's been flying since the election. Ever since the election, there was the election right there. That spot right there was the election. Let's see if we can do this again. Right there was the election. And that day, then they calmed down, and it was like, okay, this is cool. So it's been doing very well. It's been in that buy. And then we go over to Saudi Arabia, and then we'll get out of here. There's the energies, and there is Aramco right there. Was doing a little bouncing up yesterday. Rolling over again. And then a weekly sell now, since they've floated that extra $100 billion worth of stock. All right, traders, we're out of here. This is Doc from North America, having a fun old time today. So we have to just come up with a title. What should be the title? What kind of title can we say for today? I say this, that, and the other thing. I'll just sing my way out of here, and we'll just figure out the title after this. So, happy trails to you until we meet again, which will be tomorrow, Thursday. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Catch you tomorrow. We'll give you an idea what we're doing today and here in the States. Ta-ta for now.